Hello, everyone. Welcome to another. I've used thrilling, I've used rousing, exhilarating, but there's no rolling R's in that one. All right, you know what? Next time I'll think of something with a rolling R. That's a really verbose word. I could have used verbose. Verbose. You know what? Missed opportunity next time. Mulligan. Next time, promise. Welcome to another verbose episode of the Hungry Bleak podcast. I am your host, Antonio Pomares. So, look, there are a lot of people I say that I study, that I look at, and there are, or maybe I just keep saying their names over and over again. I think I keep saying their names. There aren't a lot though people who are really. I feel like they have a not just a grasp, but they're influencing the game, and they might not even realize that they're influencing the game, but they are. They're like they're already 2 steps ahead. We're here, and they're like 2 years ahead. This is one of the cats I think is out here doing it, and he came up with something really great for a Kickstarter, a season pass. Is anybody else doing that? Anybody? Are y'all doing that? There's nobody over there. Y'all, no, exactly. So things like this are why I wanted to ask him on here, and I also wanted to pick his brain about a couple of things because he's that cat. Folks, I ain't even gonna like give this man a big old like introduction because he already like he don't even need it. This cat is the cat. Look, folks, from 133 Art Publishing, this is Jason Reeves, y'all.
Hey.
Sir, how are you doing on this particular day?
I'm good. I'm real chill. I've had the opportunity, and I don't get this opportunity a lot, to actually like draw comic book pages, and I've been doing it for a couple of days. It's strange, but that's what it is. And I've been feeling really zen about it. So I'm good. I cannot complain. Finally, I get to work on my craft.
I mean, it had to happen eventually, right?
Eventually, yeah. Oh man, it's been a while.
I mean, but you're one of these cats who is doing everything. Like, I can't go anywhere without seeing your name pop up, and I'm happy about that. You know what I mean?
Appreciate
I see the stuff that you got, whether it's you or 133 Art Publishing. Well, you're in essence one and the same because you're a businessman, but you're a businessman. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah.
It's
Now,
it's it's daunting. Like uh, I like to have my hands in a lot of different pies.
mhm.
So that's good. And I definitely my mentor from like who really like put me on um, being freelance illustrator and whatnot, and just building your own business was like, yo, you need avatars, man. You need people to be constantly talking about you and going places and when you're not even there. So I'm happy to hear that, people are seeing 133 Art doing things, and we're popping up in different spaces even when I'm not there. So hopefully I'm doing my mentor proud.
I would really hope so because, like I said, yeah, you actually are. We almost met in person
Mm.
a few years ago. This was a while ago. You were at the Schaumburg for the Black Comic Book Festival. You were, I believe, downstairs in that basement area in like that real tight room.
Yeah, yeah.
You had on the lab coat and everything. I believe. Did you have on a lab coat?
I didn't have on the lab coat, but we had like the big Kid Carver's
Okay,
banner
thank
back
you.
there. Yeah.
That, and I was trying to get to you because this is when I would just further started getting into these spaces and checking out everybody and what have you. But it was so tight, and I couldn't get back. And I was like, I'm gonna see him another time. Nope, haven't seen you in person since. I don't believe. I don't believe I've seen you in person since. Nope.
Years later. Um yeah, that was tight, man. They had us in that little room and people were packing in and moving. It was
It's still
weird
like
too.
that.
People were just rubbing elbows, moving against each other. It was crazy.
Yeah, but
The
the room,
Schaumburg is the joint.
the room has a flow, but it's a weird flow because everybody knows to come in. You kind of try to circle around, but it was
Yeah.
so much I couldn't. Yeah, it's still tight like that, man. That's why, but it's 2 days now, so they have to do that because it's become such a huge event and so culturally important. So that's beautiful. I mean, good problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
So,
I would
sir, I
love
want
to
to.
get that.
I want to ask you about a couple of things because last year during a panel, I was asking a question of what do you see in the future of comics? And I pointed you out in particular because I know, like, before we started recording, I said this man is like Stark. He's working on something and he's about 70% done. And he's like, no, this ain't right. He still finishes it, but he's already got plans on how to improve it. And he makes it in his next armor. And I asked you, what is the future of comics? Like, where do you, what's one of the next innovation in comics? And you were kind of coy. You were like, I don't know. But meanwhile, I knew this man had ideas. Maybe he didn't want to say anything, which I totally understand. You don't want to, give away the recipe. But I knew you did, and that's why I wanted to
Yeah,
speak to
yeah.
you.
I mean, sometimes, uh, sometimes I don't like. I'm even to my detriment, or to 133 artists' detriment. Sometimes I like to keep things close to the vest.
Okay.
Like I'm always trying to formulate some stuff, and I love the Stark analogy. By the way, it's dope. Like it makes me feel like a big man, um, but
All right.
no, I am I'm sometimes I am always thinking of stuff, but
Hmm.
I don't always want to be like, okay, because like even with this Kickstarter, like I've been thinking about the season pass for a while, for like years now, but I was like, how and when to do it. Um, and I always want to make sure that I try to maximize how we come out and what we're doing. And as I grow as a businessman, I'm always trying to think about that. Like I don't consider myself super great at business, super great at marketing and promotion and whatnot, but I do try to do my best,
Hmm.
and I'm always trying to think how can we do that better? Like how can we create that other armor and the more
Right.
powerful, more effective armor? So yeah, definitely. But I guess the question is what is like the future of comics look like?
Well, no, I asked you that, and then you started
Oh,
dropping little. I was like, this, and then like a little
oh,
bit after you
okay.
started dropping, I was like, okay, cool, bet. I wanted to ask you,
Gotcha.
I don't know if you made a comment or if you made a post about with everything that's happening on with comicsology
Mm,
and digital
mm.
comics, and you brought up webtoons. Where do you see the future of digital comics going? Obviously, I don't want you to give away the recipe, but where do you see it going? Because you mentioned webtoons, and that was very interesting to me because I've seen more and more people talking about webtoons.
Mhm. I think webtoons is definitely a big part of it now. Almost to the point where it's gonna be like if we're talking future,
Hmm.
if we're talking immediate future too, I think it's gonna be foundational. Um, there's a lot in comics, in like our mainstream comics and sort of our I guess less progressive little cubby holes of comics. We don't like to acknowledge that certain things have become foundational, right? Like it's not just mainstream superhero comics. It's not just um image or whatever. There's a myriad of like new things adding to the foundation of comics. And I was reading a thing from James Tinian. He had this long thing. He did a podcast and they kind of transcribed it. And he was talking about accepting manga as sort of part of a foundational part of what comics is now, because they are, and somebody schooled me on one of those, cantankerous Jason posts. He was like, "No, manga makes up 75% of comic sales," and I was like, "That can't be." And I looked it up, and dude was right. So, props to my guy who schooled me. That rarely happens. Um, but if manga sales make up 75% of our sales, then we need to start treating that as a foundational aspect. Same as webtoons, right? Same as the way they do comics in places like France and Japan, the way the government gets involved in their subsidies and stuff like that. So I think if we're thinking about the future of comics, we need to be we need to create more of a melting pot of those different cultural ideals, cultural way of doing things, and cultural way of serving the fans of comics, right? And
Hmm.
we need to spearhead helping people accept that, like helping comic fans accept that. Now, a lot of them do. I should also mention middle grade publishing. That's booming right now too.
Mm,
But we can't just say it's Wolverine and move on, or it's Spawn and move on. We have to take into account all of these other avenues, and they do help enrich storytelling, right?
mhm,
Um, I was talking to my writing partner, homeboy, professor at SCAD, Rashad Doucette. Shout out to Rashad.
right.
We talk almost every morning, and we always talking about comics. He teaches comics. We met reading comics, so that's all we talk about. But I was like, dude, we can't just stop at um, you know, the era of Joe Kubert or the era of Jim Lee or Todd McFarlane. We have to like incorporate Raina Telgemeier. We have to incorporate manga. We have to incorporate now, the gods of webtoons. They're making comics and they're making money, right? And they're serving fans, which is probably the most important aspect of this. So, um, I think the future, I hope the future is incorporating all those sort of foundational disciplines into modern comics, is what I think.
I mean, that's definitely you're definitely hitting on to something. Obviously, yeah, Webtoons. One of their biggest hits is Lore Olympus,
Hmm.
and I mean, people have been talking about that forever, forever, forever. I started reading it maybe a little year ago, so but I slip on Webtoons because um it hasn't it's in my head, but when I think about my comics on my digital, I go either to my PDFs or I go to my Comixology app because that's the majority of where it is. I mean, that's one of the biggest avenues. But I
Yeah.
mean, for them to have been doing comics in essence for free for so long, and then a hit like Lore Olympus comes up and it's put into print, hardcover and softcover, and it's a huge thing. I mean, you'll see there's a cosplayer, the Diana the Great,
Hmm.
who that's one of her favorite comics, and she's cosplayed as well, and it's a huge, huge hit, and people know it. So yeah, that's a very interesting thing. And when you said that about digital comics, because I think about Comixology, I was like, because Comixology has changed a lot since it was bought by Amazon.
Right.
One of the biggest things that they did was, I believe it's a little harder to submit, and there's also you can't download some of the comics anymore.
Mm.
You used to be able to download like the more indie stuff, like Image was probably like the biggest of the indie companies that you could do, but you could, I believe, is Dark Horse, Boom, like and any of the others. Now you can't. There's no way to do it. So if they say they shut down in 6 months, I don't know what you're gonna do with those comics.
You mean like everything you bought on the app, or
Yeah.
like the submit comics, like the indie comics?
Oh no, no, like
Either or.
the like everything that you've bought.
Oh yeah, it's probably gonna be gone, right?
Yeah, exactly, because it's yours, quote unquote, until it's gone.
Yeah.
So that was
Until
something
it's
that really hit me when you started talking about it. I was like, yeah, yeah, because that was the biggest thing for me when they were bought, and I was waiting, and I even reviewed it because I looked through everything, the details, looked through the menus, everything. I wanted to see how the interface was. Took a little bit of getting used to because the old one was there for so long. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, this is different. So yeah, that's a very incredible point, and that's why again, you are a what's the term that starts use a futurist,
Futurist. I
let's
love
say.
that term. I love
But
it.
one of the things that you definitely hit on, and I love the fact that you do, is because when I first saw it, I was like, I haven't seen that unless I've been on an Xbox or I've seen a game with DLC, is a season pass. And that's what your Kickstarter is about. It's a one
Yeah.
through three art publishing season pass. Please tell us about this.
Um, so the season pass is, if you boil it all the way down, it's a year subscription to 133 Art. And the sort of impetus behind it is, um, one, I don't have the patience for several Kickstarters a year. I just don't. I just
Thank you.
don't.
Thank you.
Man, it messes with my constitution. It messes up my mood. Uh, I am. I People who know me and people who we converse online and whatnot, they think I'm emotionless, but I am not. Inside is just a gumbo of just bubbling, intense everything. So I'm like, I cannot handle the stress with more than one Kickstarter. But
Mm,
also business wise, I'm always creating me and the homies and the freelancers and every lovely person you can see down there on the page, on the campaign page, who I've worked with and am working with, are always creating more 133 art stuff throughout the year. And this is sort of an opportunity to get a hold of that stuff early, because we're going to keep producing. The stuff is going to come out, but you can say, you can lock it in. Like, here's you getting your season pass. When Retcon comes out in March, bam, it's yours. When One Nation comes out in June, bam, it's yours. When the art books come out uh fourth quarter, bam, you got them. And I think that's the way I want to do it moving forward. There's always the question of um, indies having that what is it, the 3 issue curse. Like, can the indie get to 3 issues or
yeah,
past
yeah.
3 issues? And while we're well past 3 issues on several of our series and our IP, I want to go further than that. Like, I want to tell these complete stories now, and I've just gotten to a good point. I've just figured out like good people to work with, that we can like push that forward. And I feel like I'm more creative today than I've been in the past maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 years. And I'm just coming up with ideas all the time, and I'm drawing more. So I'm like, man, now is a perfect time to just deliver all this content. And if you guys have been following me on Kickstarter at all, you should know sometimes this stuff drops early. Like, the benefit to running the business is when it's done, I can serve it up to you. So it is a great
Right.
opportunity to just get a hold of. We're dropping 3 issues of One Nation this year. We're dropping 2 issues of Retcon. We're dropping 2 issues, well, 1 issue in a coloring book of Kid Carver. So it's like, uh we're trying to lay it down real hard this year. And going forward, the next season pass 2024, that'll be even bigger if it's successful. So that's what we're trying to do.
Now,
That's the impetus behind it.
I absolutely love it because and I know it's maddening to you as the person running the Kickstarter and doing the work, but it can be maddening for me. I put in when I looked at the amount of Kickstarters I had pledged to, I said, "Well, damn." I said, "Somebody owe me a hug. This is ridiculous. This
I'm
don't make no
telling you,
sense." And I was looking, I was
telling
like, "Well," and trying to keep track of everything is difficult on both sides of the fence. But if I have Kickstarters, like there's stuff that comes in mail, I'm like, the hell is this? Who that? Nobody knows I'm here. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh wait, oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah. Then I got to go look through and make sure I got everything that I pledged because I forgot. So I love the idea of this year long, hey, it's coming, hey, it's coming, hey, it's coming. So I don't have to even think about it. I can go, oh yeah, I this book will be out in XYZ. Cool, what have you, either the digital or the print, whatever I get will come. So I love that idea, not having to sweat and going, I ain't seen that book in a minute. Where is like where's this at?
right,
And I think it's a beautiful thing too, because there's been a problem. And I understand that, life happens and we had a pandemic and everything. And during the pandemic, everyone's luck seemed to just bottom out. Everybody just seemed to hit craps at the all at the same time. Everybody just was done. Where a lot of Kickstarters were, unfortunately, they were funded, but but people were getting sick, or there were families, some type of tragedy was happening, which is unfortunate and terrible. But then some people, I think, were just, in the kiddie pool, just flipping around, just having a good time.
right.
So I, I don't know how else to say it. You know who you are. So I mean, let's be real.
There were massive delays. Um, Due to COVID was a
Yeah, yeah,
running whole thing, and it's true though. By all
yeah,
means, there are mad COVID delays. I mean, this is a fact, right?
yeah.
Um, the cool thing about us is during COVID, we didn't have a lot of those problems. I have a lot of I tend to plan ahead when it comes to stock.
Thank you.
So, and we kind of own the means of production here as far as
Mhm.
like comics goes. So I print my own books. So there wasn't really a big slowdown other than maybe the mail, if the mail was like slowing down. I remember at the
Yeah.
time the Republicans were doing something with the mail that kind of slowed some stuff down for a few weeks. But other than that, um, we were pumping the entire time. Only after did we hit COVID issues with like printer ink. Um, but even then, we made it work. So, yeah, there were a lot of COVID delays, and I don't begrudge people because if you're not printing in house, then you're beholden to whatever troubles your printer is having,
Right.
or whatever troubles your artist or whoever is having, So,
Exactly. But I like the
hard to
fact
do
that
without.
this will be consistent because I love
Yeah,
the fact that it's one, so you don't have to worry about, oh, in 3 months I have to look for that Kickstarter or I have to notify, maybe it won't hit the email. I like that you'll always be like, it's right there, you don't have to worry about, because sometimes you might miss a Kickstarter. I mean, it happens and you're like, oh wait, damn, it went and I didn't get it, because a lot of people want to be within those first 5 people to get they're like,
right.
got you, I got you. I was number 2 for this Kickstarter. I'm not putting, I'm just saying, I was at work, like I'm on my phone, like I got this. You're not gonna get me today.
There's a
But I
ton of
love that fact.
Kickstarters that I'm like, wait, did I donate to that? I always have to
Yes.
go in and see what I donated to. I'm like, oh wait, let me go check on that. Like, and there's some you don't receive. So I like to
Yeah.
do unto others as I hope they would do unto me. And I
Hmm.
fulfill tons of Kickstarters, right? This Kickstarter for me is number 15.
Oof.
It's number 5 for 133 art, but it's number 15 that I'm fulfilling. So we're old hats at fulfilling Kickstarters. We've done a ton of them. So
Yeah.
I don't find fulfillment super hard. I mean, don't get me wrong, nothing's perfect. There are hiccups. There are sometimes changes of addresses and stuff like that. We deal
Hmm.
with it. But yeah, fulfilling Kickstarters is old hat for 133 art, publishing and printing. So it is what it is. You will get your books.
And t-shirts. So we're
But
going.
yeah, but yeah,
I ain't gonna shout that out. Yeah, because I've actually gotten books that had 133 art, and I was like, I didn't order anything. The hell? And it was someone else's book, and I was like, so that's when I said, yeah, this
we
brother's
do
in
fulfillment.
everything. I mean,
Yeah,
the brother was like sitting there, like, yeah, I got this. Like just sending out like goodies to all the the good to the good people, like just give it to
got
them.
like the endless bag. You reach in the Santa's
Yeah,
bag, man. You get it. Yeah, absolutely.
making it rain comics and everything. It was ridiculous. So, what are some of the tiers that people can kick into on this Kickstarter?
Um, let's see. I have it sitting next to me. All right. So I would recommend, and obviously I'm biased. Obviously, I'm trying
Right.
to make money. But so what I've been extremely into packaging these days. We did it for the Changa campaign. We had a collector's
Oh,
box, right, with an actual jade obelisk. Uh, we had gold coins in that thing. It was packaged to look like a treasure box. It was
bruh.
dope, right? So, and I've always wanted to give people an experience every time we come out and do something like that. And going forward, that's gonna be the thing. I had one book we were gonna do a Kickstarter for, and I was like, man, I had such a great idea. Speaking of being hungry, speaking of food, where it was like a fish plate
Oh,
and
damn.
that was going to be the collector's box. Stay tuned. Maybe we might still do that, but for this particular campaign, actually, I have one sitting next to me. So to top the Changa campaign, we had to go bigger. This box is 2 times the size of the
Ush.
Changa box. Obviously, it's not a treasure box; it's a 133 art box, but
Bro, that is a treasure box. If 133 art is in it, that is a treasure box. Use a
but
damn lie.
but it's our
Ooh.
new it's our new like promo art stuff and blah blah blah. And then you open it up, you know what I'm saying, and we always
Ooh.
coordinate. We got some Paragon in there. Um, but it's 2 times the size of the other box because we're offering like 10, 12 books this time around. So
Right.
if you get the collector's box, you'll get your whole subscription of books, every other thing we're putting in there. We're definitely, and on the Kickstarter we have a list of things. We're throwing
Mhm.
in these pins and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, we're adding value to your subscription. And then it's the collector's box, right? Keep the books in there and keep it forever and be like, yo, remember that time in 2023 when they did that Kickstarter? Man, we still got the box. Like, that is the kind of experience I want to give to everybody. Like, because I like to have that kind of experience. When I'm backing something, I want to feel like, yo, when it gets here, I want to peel it open and kind of tear through it. I mean, it's a collector's box, so don't tear through it, but
Right.
still.
Yeah. No. No.
Um, so yeah, we're offering some prints, some exclusive prints for that, and I know everybody does prints, but I'm trying to get at a little more value. We have new paper. Now, this is not a done deal yet, but we have this rainbow paper for
Ooh.
our prints that we're trying to make happen. If not, then they'll still be prestige glossy prints. But we just want to add value to everything, man. If I could get some perfume or some cologne to spray in a box, so when you open it, it go psh in your face. Like, I would do that. Like, I love that kind of stuff. I love packaging. I love creating an experience. I want people to remember 133 Art as the comic book company that like added value to the thing that you purchased, to the comics you purchased. So I'm excited about the box, obviously, clearly.
Right. I mean, the box looks incredible.
Thank you.
I might have to change my pledge because I normally do digital just because it's easier, it's more convenient with my life right now. But I do like to
Right,
have
right.
print because I only buy certain print comics, but ones that actually have an emotional value for me.
Same here.
You know what I mean?
Same
One
here.
that I can have the creative team sign it and it means something to me. Like there are certain comics I'm like, yeah, that one I want in print now. And if I'm able to get that person to sign it, bet. There's others I'm like, yeah, I'll just get it digital. I'm totally cool with that. But that box, yeah, I'm gonna have to change that print. Let me sell some more sandwiches out on the corner. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna put that on
Yo,
lock. I'm gonna get that on. I might have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to do some layaway on some Christmas clothes. I don't know, man, but we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna work this out, which is
yeah, and
beautiful.
and the Changa boxes are still available on this
Oh,
campaign. They're available again on this campaign. So if you guys didn't see the Changa boxes, check out Changa and the Jade Obelisk #2 Kickstarter. Just Google that, you'll see it. It's actually I think I have pics on this campaign of it. But yeah, it's another collector's box. I want every Kickstarter we do to have a new collector's box and new items to go inside of it.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready. I'm excited about it.
I had that collector's box. I didn't realize that that's what was gonna happen. And I went to the box. And I was like, "The hell is this?" And it was like the balloons come out. The hell did these? The balloons come out. What is this? A kookaran? The hell is this? And I saw, and I was like, "Yo, he's." And I remember like messaging you either that night or the next day, and like
Yeah,
this cat snapped. I was like, "Yo, this guy is this dude sent like is this like legal? Can you send coins in the mail like this?"
it's treasure. You're
And
finding
it
your opening the treasure box.
and it was tissue paper in there too that you had
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
So that
We,
was quality.
I'm trying, man. We trying to give you value, man. That's what we like to do.
You are one of two people who are incredibly immaculate um at your packing. The other person is to Newton Lelevoix.
Mm.
He sent his comic and it had a letter and everything in there. I mean, he was like, "Oh, my daughters and I wrapped these up," and I was like, "Damn, man, you got me in my heart right now." Like you and it was a family affair. Like that was great, and it was just one of the most beautiful things. So you two definitely put your quality and your heart into it because again, you want to add value and you want to make sure that what you're creating gets to that person in pristine condition so they can
Yes,
enjoy it for as long as
yes.
they can and love it. And I appreciate that, man. I truly do.
And
So,
if it
folks.
comes, if it gets to you damaged, for
Mhm.
everybody that's wondering, message me. I'll send you another one. Like, literally. Like, I won't like rest until you get the actual experience. Like, um, I'm good for that. Like, we plan for that over here. So, don't ever hesitate. If you back one of my Kickstarters, don't hesitate to like message and say, "Yo, Jay, this comic has a ding in it. I'll send you another one. Quick."
That yeah, your stuff does get quick. I'll be honest with you. Your stuff, I was like, I just hit the button and I hear my doorbell ring. I was like, who the hell is? I didn't order no Chinese. What the hell is that at the door? The hell is? And all I see was
Like
Jason
Amazon,
running down the street like this, hand up. He was like, "I got you." I was like, "Wait, what you got?" And it's incredible. And it's not just the packaging and everything. The quality is the comic and the writing and the art. Whether it's you doing or whether you have people coming in, I think you have there's a certain standard right there that when it's 133 art publishing, that standard is always upheld because it's solid. And unfortunately, the word solid has kind of gotten this weird meaning of like it's not flashy and whatever. Flash will die. Solid is forever and consistent, and that's what you put together through your publishing company. And I always appreciate that. So thank you. I'm sure I'll say it for everyone out there. Thank you very much for the quality of your work and the publishing, folks. As always, in the episode description, I have a link for the Kickstarter 133 Art Publishing Season Pass. Go and kick in, check out all the tiers because I was flabbergasted at the tiers. I was like, wait, I'm supposed to, I gotta go back to work. I gotta pick a tier. Now I might have to go and change that tier and go sell some sandwiches on the street because this guy is just putting together something incredible. And I think it's awesome. And I can't wait till the next Kickstarter that you come up with because this is cool.
I'm trying to be so concise with my tiers. I get a little wordy sometimes. We're gonna streamline until we get it. I guess I am Tony Stark.
See, look at you.
Get it right.
Look at you already there. Now, I want to have some fun with you. All right, so you are a comic book head, as you said. So I'm going to ask you this. What are 3 comics right now that you're reading that are just hitting your spot right now? That they're just like, damn, all right, cool.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm reading My Hero Academia, and
Ooh, okay.
that might be my number one favorite comic right now. Like,
Hmm.
so I'm big on superheroes, obviously. Like, we do things in other genres, but man, I grew up on superheroes. I've always wanted to do it. It's always been my dream to write superheroes. So anything superhero, you're halfway there with me. But
Hmm.
I think My Hero Academia just catches the heart of what it is to be superheroes, what it is to save and protect people, and just the way they handled the legacy heroes versus the upcoming heroes, and how cerebral the book is. Like, it's deceptive because you look at it and you're like, it's just shonen, manga or shonen
Hmm.
anime or whatever. And man, the world building in that book is kind of complex in a way that I didn't think I would find after like Naruto was over, or after you know after Naruto. So
Hmm.
like I was looking for something. I always want to be reading one superhero book that I really love. Like, there's certain books out there that you kind of tolerate because you like the characters. But I'm enjoying
Yeah.
I'm enjoying My Hero. And let me see, what's number 2? Number 2, there was the sale over at Comixology at the end of the year sale,
Hmm.
right before the big upheaval happened in January. And I bought I've always loved 100 Bullets by Azzarello and Eduardo Rizzo. Oh my goodness. Listen. Listen, but I never finished it, right? So I was
Same.
reading it back in the day, but then I think Katrina happened or something, and all kinds of stuff just went down, and I couldn't get. I would miss specific issues of it. So
Hmm.
I think I have up to like 89 or something, but
Dang.
then there's little pieces that are missing. So they had all of them on there, like the big volumes,
Yeah.
and they were like $5 a piece, $2, whatever. So I was like, "Yo, I'm getting all this, and I'm gonna read all this." So I've been reading 100 Bullets, and man, I'm
It's one
like,
of the best.
I am enjoying. It's one of the best crime stories, just in general,
Mhm.
not even in comics, but just in general. And Eduardo Rizzo is one of my favorite creators, one of my favorite illustrators on the planet. Like, he does so much with so little. He could draw a stick and a shadow and make that thing sing. So I'm just like in heaven right now looking at him. And also being kind of a little bit more cerebral about it and seeing what I believe to be the switch from drawing by hand and then moving into like digital art. There's
Really?
sort of a change in like the colors and the art. I'm wondering if he started drawing on a pad or something further in, because there's like a little bit of a tweak. I need to research it. I don't know that that's true, but I'm getting the sense that it is, and it's just funny to watch it, just funny to just see it, as
Mhm.
I progress through the books. I just finished reading one of their best runs. It's called The Counterfeit Detective, and
Yes.
that's one of their lauded runs, but it's
I've heard
like
it.
so good. It is so good. It deserves every piece of accolade it has. It's just
Mm.
so good. So I'm in heaven with 100 Bullets right now. What's the third thing I'm reading? I've been jumping off and on different things. I just read Tinian's Batman run, like the Joker War thing. I've been reading Batman off and off from him, and then I just read that whole run, and I was like, speaking of like manga esque shonen type stuff, and he even said it in the article I read earlier this week that he embraces that kind of storytelling, and he specifically embraced it for that Batman run, and I was like, you could totally see it, and it's really like, and then Jorge Imanez's art is just like, again, another one of my favorite illustrators in the game right now. And man, it's just, I love when you get a creative team that marries well together. Like
Yes.
that is like I really, it's a pet peeve to me when we see all these crossovers and there's like one guy drawing one issue, one guy drawing half an issue, one, like, I hate that. When you marry a good creative team together on a solid run, oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. So
I-
those are the big ones right now for me.
those are crazy choices
Mm.
and so good. My Hero Academia, I haven't read the manga, but I'm watching the anime right now. And it is
Mhm.
like, you think it's going to be one thing, and it's so in depth. And even the way, I almost feel like his quirk is strategy, and he doesn't
Ah,
even realize it because he's the way he's planning and everything like that. And I do love, yeah, and it does hit you at a certain point because of, he's the essence. Boiled down, he's the essence of what you would think a hero is. Not even a superhero, but just a hero in general. Like,
right.
his whole thing is he wants to just help people. And he's this little boy who didn't have a quirk. He didn't have, and his he's sitting on the couch, like, just admiring him, and he wants it so badly. And it's great. 100 Bullets. Yeah, man. I saw that sale. When it first came out, it was the first non-superhero comic I read. And I remember picking it up for, I picked it up about 50 times over the past over a year, and I was like, what is this? What, I don't know. And I picked it up and I read it, and I was like, oh my god. And I was in a relationship at the time, and my ex, she had bought me, I think it was volume 12 or 13. I never got to finish reading it, unfortunately. So that sale you're talking about, I copped, I think, Omnibus 3 and 4, or 4 and
Mm,
5, since the series is 100 issues.
yeah.
And I copped that, and I copped oh my god, I feel like it's almost a partner book, but it's not. It's Jason
Brother Lorna.
Aaron, um god,
Oh,
what was
okay.
that? Not Southern Bastards, but
That's
it
mine.
was, it was also from Vertigo at the time. I can't remember what it was, but it was this,
Jason Aaron.
yeah, it was Jason Aaron. Um
Scalped.
yes, thank you. Yes. Scalped.
Scalped.
Yeah. I copped that, but I got those. 100 Bullets was so smart and so fresh, and it hit so many different buttons with me that I was, yeah, this is perfect. So yeah, I'm right there with you that it does hit. Tinian is amazing to me. Something is Killing the Children is one of my favorite comics,
Yeah, yeah,
easily,
really
and
good.
that's
I didn't
world
think I
building.
was gonna like it. Like I was like, I don't know that I'm gonna like this book. And I read the first two, and I was like, oh wait, you got something here. It reminds me of Buffy a lot.
It does,
Like
but better.
it has sort of a Buffy feel, and not just
Yeah.
because Slaughter looks like her, but
Mm-hmm.
just the way she approaches dealing with this stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
love that.
It's I incredible artist, great friend, also foodie. Takia Marie actually recommended it to me. So I
Mm,
read the first issue and I was like, wait, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. Immediately after I was done, I bought the trade on Comixology, read through that first issue again in the trade and read it. And I was like, yo, the art is, yeah, everything about that book is incredible. The art is portrait esque, can convey drama, horror, and then so quickly turn into action.
yeah,
And it's
I
with,
found it
oh,
deceptively simple.
yes, but I'm looking at it and it's another one I'm studying. I'm like, wait, how did you do that so quickly? And you'll see Erica will just be walking something normal. She'll get into that scene and you'll see the muscle and the blade in her whipping action. And you would never think of how quickly she can move. But yeah, it is like Buffy, where Buffy was deceptively spry. Like Angel even was like, wow, you're really spry, aren't you? And so quick and moving. Yeah, those are definitely. And Tinian is incredible with his art. And anytime he writes a book and there's children involved, I'm automatically terrified because I know he's going to put that child through so much trauma. It's going to be absurd. Those are great choices. Yeah, I have to get into My Hero Academia, the manga, because I know that there's also a spinoff called Vigilantes and one for villains. I
Yeah,
think, right? There are.
I think so. I haven't read the villains. I
Mm-hmm.
read Vigilantes. It's pretty good. It's a nice aside.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I haven't read the other one yet. You know, they like it's weird, man. I'm not used to my manga spinning off so hard, but they kind of went hard with the spinning off on this one. I mean, you know, money opportunities everywhere, so you know, good on them. But um, yeah, no, my hero. What I love about my hero is the legacy stuff. All Might feels to me like what Superman, sort of like what Superman could be
Mm-hmm.
in his later stages. Like now, like I feel like mainstream comics is always so hesitant to like let the Nightwings and the Robins and the you know Sam Wilsons or whoever kind of shine as legacy characters, and I feel like My Hero is showing American comics like how that can work and still be compelling. Like if Spider Man did have that kid and was showing that kid the ropes and they became a teenager and wanted to like be as great as him, like My Hero does that perfectly. And American comics is so wishy-washy about that, right? They're always
Mm-hmm.
like, well, Nightwing is a great hero, but then why isn't he at the forefront now? Like, why isn't Batman sort of playing the background to this guy? And I love the way they approach it in that book. All Might is now an elder, now your teacher. He still is heroic and has a heroic desire to help people, but also his role is to show you how to be better than him. And it's
Right.
still compelling. It's still a good story. So I'm like, they're schooling us right now on how to do it, like how to
It,
keep your um, golden age quote unquote characters relevant in a story about the younger generation. And I think we should definitely take note. That is awesome.
that is true because they won't let those legacy character. The legacy character will get older, but the main character will not, or some type of reboot or some type of situation, something what have you, some type of retcon, and they'll end up changing it. That is true because I mean, you can look at because Nightwing only had the role for a minute, but I
Yeah.
prefer him as Nightwing anyway. But I understand that thought process. Miles Morales.
Well, he had the role
Um,
for a minute, and then he had the role like several times for a minute. You know, it's
yeah,
kind of like back and forth, and it's like, dude, what do y'all want to do? Like, I just feel like a lot of times they're missing out on story possibilities by trying to keep these older characters young.
Hmm.
And just manga in general does a great job with numerous volumes. I mean, there's like 1,000 volumes of One Piece, but the story still stays relevant when you come to the modern era of One Piece, and they're really good with that. Whereas you have like Superman, they have to keep rebooting it, like brand new day, Superman #1. Like you
Hmm.
don't have to do that. There's storytelling tricks to get around that and to keep the character relevant to the older audience who was reading it and a newer audience. You know, there's ways to do that. You just have to be willing to tell that story.
Yeah, and willing to let go of that and let
Yeah.
something new. But that's very true. So we're gonna come up to the bonus round, the extra credit part, the homework.
Hey,
And this is basically like, where's my plate? So here's the thing. Hungry is in the title. I
right.
don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know what to tell y'all. Hungry is in the title. So here's the thing. This is where now I'm gonna do this differently for
Okay.
Jason. Myself, I'm gonna give a restaurant that I like and something that I enjoy eating there.
Okay.
Jason
Okay.
is going to either give a dish at a restaurant that he likes, or he's going to tell us what he's having for dinner tonight. So I'm
Okay.
going to say my restaurant is Paradiddle Griddle. This is in Red Bank, New Jersey. Red Bank is where I'm from. It's where I was born. Uh, Beautiful town, love it. This is like when I first got out of the hospital, the first place I went to eat after I had my surgery and everything, I went over there, and I went and I had, I don't remember if it was a vegan, if it was a veggie burger or if it was a regular burger. I just remember being so happy to eat something that was delicious and big steak fries, everything, and it was incredible. Cheese was melted perfectly. Everything I've had there has been perfect. Whether it's been the fries, whether it's been the fajita,
Okay.
empanized, food is on point. Yes, I will have the link for the place. If you are in New Jersey, if you are in Red Bank, go and check out Paradiddle Griddle, and it's right near Marine Parks. You can go, you can get your food, you can go right around the corner, 2 minutes. You can sit and just look at the water. That's the type of town
Okay.
I'm from. Love it. Now,
Yes.
Jason, what are you going to give us for today?
Okay. Okay. I, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna go a little
Uh-oh.
hard
All right, all right, all
because
right,
I
all right.
didn't. Technically, I didn't do the homework, but I'm gonna go hard. All right.
All right.
So I'm gonna give you three things. I'm gonna give you two
Oh.
restaurants I like, and then or two dishes or whatever, or
Mm-hmm.
I like, and then I'm gonna give you what we're eating for dinner. It's
Okay. Oh,
leftover.
wow.
Spoiler. Spoiler. All right. So one. So I have an interesting relationship with food. I've been fat my entire life. Like there was no period where I was like a slim person. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I just lost 100 pounds. So I've been trying to be healthy and walk and work out and whatnot. So I just got back to a point where I can like eat almost semi normally. I had like stomach surgery.
Okay.
But one of my favorite things, this is a drink, it's called a Flaming Moe's. They used to serve it at Universal Studios at Moe's Bar. And
Okay.
it's a sweet drink, but it smokes and it comes in a little Flaming Moe's cup. And I'm a big fan of The Simpsons. And I actually went and had to have got to have a Flaming Moe in real life.
Okay.
This
Okay.
was like
All
years
right.
ago. So I'm repping for the Flaming Moe. All right,
All
that's
right.
number one. Number two, um, we went to Vegas. My son Jason had a taekwondo competition, and we got to go to Morimoto's
Oh.
in the casino. And listen, I don't. Chef Morimoto is doing his thing. We had, I had this. It was it was an egg fried rice, and he came in this like handful, like a small bowl the size of my hand. My
Mhm.
hand might be even bigger than the bowl, and they prepare it right in front of you. They like crack an egg on hot rice and prepare it in front of you, and they had like chicken in it, and it's like I think the dish is egg fried rice, and it was amazing. And we had shishito peppers, and we
Mm.
had this pork belly that was just like a cloud. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit of a foodie, just a little bit. I'm a little bougie when it
All right.
comes to the restaurants we go to. So that's why I couldn't do the homework efficiently because I like a lot of different things. Um, so shout out to Morimoto's in the damn, what casino was that? I forget what casino we were staying in, but shout out to Morimoto's. You can look, I'm sure it's easy Googleable. Go
Yeah.
there, spend a whole bunch of money, eat there. Um, let's see what else. Oh, I'm gonna add another one.
All right.
Milk Bar. Milk Bar restaurants. They have them. I know they have them in LA and maybe New York. I'm not sure. They're sort of expanding, but
Hmm.
it's a sweet, it's like a bakery kind of restaurant. One of the Christina Tosi is the chef that created it,
Okay.
and one of her partners is uh dang, what is his name? David. I forget the chef's name. Chef Dave. He's a famous chef. Anyway, he's her partner.
David.
Anyway, Milk Bar has these cornflake cookies.
Oh
Amazing
damn.
cookies with cornflakes in it and marshmallows. You got me. You got me. So really good, really good stuff at Milk Bar. Shout out to Milk Bar and Christina Tosi. And the last thing, what we're having for dinner is
Yes.
leftovers.
Okay.
Um, my mother-in-law and my wife collaborated on this creamy curry with these little tiny potatoes and a little bit of what is it? It's fish. Um, I think it's trout curry,
Ooh.
little potatoes, and just savory onions over rice. Amazing stuff that they were doing last night, and we're gonna have that with chicken thighs. Um, the curry's left over, the chicken thighs with um with bear. Have you heard of this spice? Bear spice. It's an African. It's a
Think I've heard
Nigerian
of
spice.
it. I think so. Yeah.
So I made a rub with the bear, the cayenne pepper, little onion powder. I just be doing the little rubs for the chicken every now and then when I have time. And we're
Hmm.
gonna put some of that rub on it, put it in the air fryer, and eat it with the curry. So that's what we're doing for dinner tonight. So you asked me a question, I gave you more value because I'm a little bit of a foodie, and it was hard to answer the question.
The futurist foodie, I think, is your new title.
Listen,
I feel
listen.
I feel like I have to put all caps hungry bleak podcast in the title of this episode. You know what? This might be the hungriest episode I've ever had. And I've done
I
episodes where
can't
my
put it right
stomach has
place.
literally been growling on the show. This, all right. Whew, yeah, 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 yeah. All right.
We like to cook around here. We're
Mhm.
all from New Orleans.
Okay.
So I live my wife and I live with our in-laws live with us.
Hmm.
Her mother and father and her grandmother. Then there's my son, her sister, and the dog. So it's like seven of us plus the dog in here. And we all from New Orleans. We all like to cook and and my wife and I are way adventurous when it comes to figuring out, and my son too. Now, I mean, he has no choice, but
Yeah, I was about to
we're
say.
adventurous when it comes to food and whatnot.
Look, man, I love the fact there's also a multi-generational house, and the I was expecting people to walk by because I was kind of looking forward to it. Truthfully, I kind of everybody walked by earlier. Then it was like everybody just scrammed. Everybody was like done.
Yeah, they got scares. They got scares real quick.
I'm saying, but I love that about, and I think that's another thing that I love about it is the fact that it's the family is so amazing and it's so grounding, and I think that's another reason why you are the man that you are. You are the business that you are. You are the businessman that you are, and I appreciate you, Jason. Seriously, I mean, for all aspects of your work, the quality, the commitment that you have, and the fun. Like people, like if someone just knows you from social media, your Facebook especially, they're gonna think that you don't crack a smile, the face is dry, like there's nothing ever going on, it's just never, it's just straight up, I don't like nothing. Like your face is just dead, like I ain't like that movie. And your face just done. Like the corners of your mouth just be dry because you frown all the time, just I don't like nothing. That movie was hot garbage. You, you know what I
I'm
mean? But
opinionated, but I love things. There are things that I love.
but to
People
see,
don't see those posts because we don't often agree on the things that I love. But
yeah.
I'm a fun loving dude, man. At least I try to be. I can get serious, but I can also, you know, I can crack a smile.
But you have that balance, so I definitely appreciate. And I hope people get to see, like, yeah, he's got these posts that they're hard hitting and they're smart. Like I love when you go on somebody's post that something's not right, and you go, "Man, brother, this ain't it," and you just leave, you just leave the post. You like, man, it's almost like you walk in the room and go, "Man, this ain't it," and you close the door. I've seen a few of those posts, and I'm like, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Everybody, he's not wrong. On like the 30 seconds that I'm on social media, like Facebook for that month. I love it. It's one of the best things I've seen. You walk in, you're like, man, this ain't it. You just walk off.
I
It's one
just
of the best posts ever. Somebody had this long diatribe or whatever. Did you didn't think that? Blah, 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 blah. And you just come in like, man, this ain't it. I've even seen you go, man, delete this post, and you walk out, and I was like,
oh, that was probably David Crownson. He likes to do his fan castings, and they be all the way off. Shout out to David.
you've
Harry
done it on a
Tubman.
few different posts, brother. I've seen you just do it. And I'm like, well, there's nothing to see here. I guess I don't need to comment. I'm just going. I'm gonna go read something then. Cool. I'm gonna go play Destiny. I bet I'm out of here. All right. So, folks, like I said, in the episode description, you will see the link for the 133 Art Publishing Season Pass. Go check out those tiers. They are amazing. You'll find a little bit of everything all the titles are going to be incredible. Like I said, my book of 2021 was Stronghold. Easily. It's still,
Stronghold number 2
it's
coming
still,
out.
it still lives in my head because I'm still thinking about moments from that book. I forgot that I even had it. Again, talking about Kickstarter. I forgot. Wait, damn, did I get that PDF? And I was like, oh yeah, I did. I was laying in bed and I was like, oh yeah, I did. I got my tablet and I was like, still got the eye gook and everything. I rubbed my eyes. I started reading it just straight like because I'm raw like that. I started reading and I was like, wait, what? I'm reading it and I'm like, I had to sit back for a minute and go, yeah, damn. So that's the type of thing that you get. And there are so many. I mean, the One Nation books are incredible. Retcon, yeah, phenomenal. I mean, love letter to sliding. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just stuff like that is incredible. You always can find something great. And check this man out. His post everything. If he says something about business, listen up and read it because, like I said, the man is always on point. Folks, I want y'all to give a rousing applause for this man, Jason Reeves.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you so
guys.
very much, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for
And
having me, man.
dude, no worries, man. I mean, this is something that you're one of the people that I've been like, I want to get, like, you're one of those people that I'm like, I need to get him on here. I need to get, there's like LeVar Burton. That's no joke. LeVar Burton is like one of those people that yeah, there's a list that I'll probably put out one day for no reason. And people are just like, really? And I'm like, yeah, that person is so interesting. You have no idea what's going on. But do you have any parting words for the people today, sir?
Um, I don't know, man. Just support Black comics, man. Look, just go in, go off, and just buy Black comics, man. We out here, we're producing the content, and we love for the support to happen. You know what I'm saying? Go to the 133 Art Season Pass Kickstarter. Whenever Newton and Dream Fury is doing a Kickstarter, whenever Greg is doing a Kickstarter, Drums of Ogun is on Kickstarter right now. It's none other where Spider. Go holler at that. My homeboy, my best friend, Professor Rashad Doucette, has a book coming out through Little Brown. Um, it's called Art Club. Look out for that in the next
Mhm.
few months. Look, support Black comics and Black comic creators, man. We out here doing it. Oh, if you're in the San Diego area next week, this weekend actually, this weekend, come out to Black Comic Books Day. Kid Comics
Oh
keeping it
yeah.
real. is about to go off. We're gonna be there, and a whole bunch of other creators are gonna be in there doing the thing. It's gonna be live.
Folks, that's it. Look, y'all already know. Have a good time. Be great. Drink your water. Make sure put lotion on. Respectfully and disrespectfully, put lotion on. Just make sure that is on. And as always, folks, do the best you can with what you got, because in the end, that's all that you get. All right, I'm gonna see y'all later. As always, you know it takes a second for the show to end when I hit the button, so I gotta give y'all a little shoulder shake. I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace.